Hello, everyone. What if the habits you've carried for years are silently stealing your joy? Could the small choices you make each day be pushing away those you love? Why do some age with vibrant connection while others fade into loneliness? Stay with me. Truth could transform your life. Welcome to Senior Health Star, your trusted guide to aging with purpose, connection, and vitality. I'm David, your host, and today we're embarking on a profound journey: elderly wisdom, top 10 harmful habits. We'll uncover 10 subtle habits that can quietly erode your relationships, health, and joy. After 70 habits like negativity, stubbornness, or holding grudges. These aren't loud mistakes. They're sneaky traps that can dim your spirit and isolate you from the life you deserve. Through heartfelt stories and stunning visuals from Tuscany's golden hills to the vibrant markets of New Orleans, we'll explore how to break free and live fully. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and ring the bell to never miss a life-changing insight. Let's dive into our top 10 harmful habits, starting with number 1. Habit 1. Becoming too negative or critical. Picture yourself in a lively New Orleans cafe, the scent of fresh coffee and powdered sugar swirling around you. Laughter spills from nearby tables, and the world feels warm, connected. But for many over 70, a subtle habit creeps in, dimming this vibrancy, becoming too negative or critical. It starts small: a sigh about aches, a grumble about the news but left unchecked. It can push away the very people who bring life's joy. Meet Sarah, a 71-year-old retired librarian from Baton Rouge. Sarah always saw herself as honest, someone who spoke her mind. But as years passed, her sighs turned to complaints. Mornings began with mutters about her stiff joints. News reports sparked rants about the state of the world. When her grandkids visited, she'd scoff. "Back in my day, we had respect," dismissing their world of apps and games. At first, she didn't notice the change. Her words felt justified, just telling it like it is. But slowly, friends dodged deep talks, her grandkids made excuses to skip visits, and conversations grew short. Sarah was unknowingly building a wall of negativity, draining those around her. The truth is, negativity is like a heavy fog. It smothers connection. No one leaves a conversation feeling uplifted after a barrage of complaints. After 70, life's challenges: aging bodies, a changing world can fuel frustration, but constant criticism isolates you, not protects you. Sarah's wake-up call came when her daughter said, "Mom, you're pushing us away." Hurt but determined, Sarah decided to change. She started each day with gratitude. "The sun's shining today," or "I'm thankful for my coffee." She limited complaints, venting briefly before shifting to positive topics. When her grandkids mentioned a new game, she asked, "Tell me more," sparking connection. Within months, her home buzzed with laughter again, her grandkids lingering longer, her friends opening up. You don't need to fake positivity, just balance it. Picture that New Orleans cafe, its warmth urging you to lead with light, not complaints. Your words shape your world, your relationships, your life's meaning. Choose ones that lift, not lower. Habit 2. Ignoring personal hygiene and appearance. Now, let's wander through the tranquil cherry blossoms of Kyoto, where beauty blooms in every detail, reminding us to honor ourselves. After 70, it's tempting to let personal hygiene and appearance slide: a skip shower, baggy clothes, neglected grooming. But this subtle habit can dim your confidence, distance others, and rob you of the vitality that defines a meaningful life. Sarah once took pride in her appearance, choosing vibrant blouses and a signature perfume that turned heads. But as years passed, she stopped caring. Hair appointments were skipped, stylish outfits gave way to worn sweats, and mirrors were avoided. "Why bother?" she thought. "I'm not impressing anyone." Yet, she noticed a shift. Strangers no longer smiled. Friends invited her out less, and old photos of her radiant self felt like a stranger. Sarah's neglect wasn't just external, it eroded her self-respect, making her feel invisible, unworthy of the life she'd built. Your appearance isn't about vanity. It's about signaling to yourself and the world, "I matter." Neglecting it sends the opposite message, dimming your spirit and connection. Sarah's turning point came when she saw a photo of her younger, vibrant self. Determined, she started small. A daily shower, brushing her hair, wearing a favorite scarf. She added a touch of lipstick, not for others, but for herself. The change was transformative. She stood taller, smiled more, and felt seen again. Friends complimented her glow, and her grandkids noticed her spark. Start with one act of care: clean clothes, a spritz of cologne, a trimmed beard. Picture Kyoto's blossoms, their beauty urging you to honor your worth. Your presence, your confidence, your life's purpose, they shine when you show up for yourself. Habit 3. Becoming stubborn and resistant to change. Let's hike the windswept trails of Big Sur, a favorite American escape, where the ocean's power reminds us to stay open to life's currents. After 70, stubbornness and resistance to change can quietly isolate you, cutting you off from the connections and growth that give life meaning. Sarah prided herself on knowing what she liked: her rotary phone, her handwritten letters. When her grandkids switched to texting, she scoffed. If they want to talk, they can call. She refused their offers to teach her, clinging to her ways. But calls dwindled, and group chats she ignored buzzed with family photos and updates. Sarah didn't see it, but her stubbornness was a wall, shutting out the love she craved. Her isolation grew until her grandson said, "Grandma, we miss you, but you're hard to reach." The words stung, revealing the cost of her resistance. Change is relentless, especially after 70, when technology and lifestyles shift rapidly. Resisting it doesn't preserve comfort, it builds barriers. Sarah decided to try. Her granddaughter taught her to text, starting with simple emojis. To her surprise, it was easy. Photos of her great-grandkids flooded in, jokes pinged, and she felt part of their world again. By saying, "I'll try," she reclaimed connection, proving life's meaning lies in staying open. Picture Big Sur's cliffs, urging you to embrace change: a text, a new hobby, a new way. Your relationships, your growth, your life's purpose, they thrive when you bend, not break. If you're finding this inspiring, drop number 3 in the comments to let me know you're here. And if you haven't subscribed to Senior Health Star, hit that button now and ring the bell to keep these insights flowing. Habit 4. Hoarding and refusing to let go of clutter. Now, let's meander through a Tuscan village where uncluttered homes glow with warmth and peace. After 70, hoarding and clinging to clutter-old papers, unworn clothes, forgotten trinkets can suffocate your space, mind, and spirit, robbing you of the clarity and connection that make life meaningful. Sarah was sentimental, her home a museum of memories. Birthday cards from decades past, stacks of yellowed newspapers, clothes she hadn't worn in years filled every corner. "I might need it," she'd say, unable to let go. But her once cozy sanctuary became a maze, exhausting to navigate. She stopped inviting friends over, ashamed of the mess. The clutter wasn't just physical, it weighed on her mind, trapping her in the past and stealing her peace. Her daughter's gentle nudge, "Mom, it's too much," sparked resistance, but also reflection. Sarah realized her treasures were chaining her to yesterday, not enriching today. Clutter isn't just stuff. It's emotional baggage, blocking joy and safety. Falls, a major risk for seniors, increase in cluttered homes. Sarah started small, tackling one drawer, asking, "Do I use this? Does it bring joy?" She donated clothes, recycled papers, and gifted keepsakes to family. Her home transformed, lighter, safer, inviting. Friends returned, and Sarah felt free, her spirit unburdened. Picture Tuscany's simplicity, urging you to declutter one item a day. Your peace, your safety, your life's meaning, they flourish in a space that breathes. Habit 5. Losing patience with others too quickly. Let's return to New Orleans, where the farmers market pulses with life, a reminder to meet others with kindness. After 70, losing patience, quickly snapping at a slow cashier or a dawdling driver can strain relationships, raise stress, and dim the compassion that gives life depth and meaning. One day, Sarah stood in a grocery line, her cart full. The young cashier fumbled with bags, and Sarah's frustration boiled. "Come on, hurry up," she snapped. The cashier's face fell, hands trembling. Instantly, Sarah felt a pang of guilt. This wasn't Hirsch, he'd become the impatient person she once disliked. Her sharp words pushed the cashier away, and worse, they left her feeling heavy, disconnected. Impatience, she realized, wasn't just hurting others, it was poisoning her own heart. After 70, life's slower pace can spark irritation, but impatience builds walls, not bridges. Sarah decided to change. When frustration rose, she paused, took a breath, and asked, "Is this worth my peace?" At the same store, she saw the cashier again, smiled, and said, "Take your time, you're doing great." His face lit up, and Sarah felt lighter. Kindness, she learned, fosters connection, not conflict. Urging you to pause, breathe, and choose patience. Your relationships, your peace, your life's purpose, they thrive when you offer grace. Habit 6. Over, talking, and not listening. Now, let's sit by a serene Adirondack lake where the calm invites us to listen deeply. After 70, over-talking and failing to listen can quietly alienate loved ones, weakening the bonds that give life meaning and leaving you disconnected from those you cherish. Sarah was a storyteller, her home filled with tales of her youth, but she didn't notice how often she dominated conversations, jumping in with her experiences before others could speak. Her daughter Emily finally said, "Mom, I love your stories, but I don't feel heard." The words hit hard. Sarah realized her need to share wisdom was drowning out Emily's voice, creating distance where she craved closeness. She'd been talking, not connecting, and it was costing her the relationships that mattered most. Listening is love in action. After 70, the urge to impart lessons can overshadow the need to hear others. Sarah vowed to change. She practiced pausing, asking, "What's on your mind?" and letting Emily speak without interruption. She asked open-ended questions. "What's been exciting for you?" Their talks grew warmer, longer, and Sarah felt closer to Emily than ever. Listening, she learned, builds bridges where words alone cannot. Picture the Adirondacks calm, urging you to listen with your heart. Your relationships, your connection, your life's meaning, they deepen when you give others space to be heard. Habit 7. Pushing people away instead of asking for help. Let's walk the shores of Big Sur, where the ocean's vastness teaches us that strength lies in leaning on others. After 70, pushing people away instead of asking for help can isolate you, severing the interdependence that gives life purpose and leaving you to carry burdens alone. Sarah prided herself on independence, always the helper, never the helped. One day, struggling with a heavy grocery bag, a neighbor offered, "Need a hand?" Sarah forced a smile. "No, I've got it." But her trembling arms betrayed her. Dragging the bag inside, her back ached, and loneliness stung deeper than the pain. She'd rejected kindness, choosing pride over connection, and it left her feeling more alone than ever. Her daughter's words echoed, "Mom, let us help. We want to." Sarah saw the truth. Her refusal wasn't strength, it was a barrier to love. Asking for help isn't weakness. It's an act of courage that fosters connection. Sarah started saying yes. When her neighbor offered again, she smiled. "I'd appreciate it." The exchange was small but profound. Her heart felt lighter, seen. Help, she learned, is a gift that binds us. Picture Big Sur's waves urging you to accept help. Your connections, your strength, your life's meaning, they grow when you let others in. Drop number 7 in the comments if this resonates. And if you haven't joined Senior Health Star, subscribe now and ring the bell to stay inspired. Habit 8. Being too frugal to enjoy life. Step into the heart of Santa Fe's lively festival, where every corner pulses with joy, handcrafted pottery glowing in the lantern light, dancers twirling to the rhythm of guitars, and laughter rising like sparks from a bonfire. This is a place that begs you to live fully, to savor the moment, to let your soul breathe. Yet, for many over 70, a subtle habit creeps in, dimming this vibrancy. Being too frugal, hoarding savings instead of savoring life's richness. This isn't just about money. It's about starving your spirit of the experiences that weave meaning into your days. leaving you wealthy in dollars but impoverished in memories, connection, and purpose. Meet Sarah, a 71-year-old retired librarian from Baton Rouge, whose story reveals the quiet cost of this habit. Sarah was a master of frugality, her life a testament to careful budgeting. She clipped coupons with precision, mended clothes rather than buying new, and skipped vacations with ease, always saving for someday. Her bank account grew, a comforting nest egg, but her days felt increasingly hollow. When her best friend Emily invited her on a weekend getaway to the mountains, Sarah's instinct was immediate. No, too expensive. The thought of spending made her stomach twist. What if she needed that money later? What if an emergency struck? But as she declined, a quiet voice whispered, "What am I saving for?" She'd worked hard her whole life, built security. Yet her world felt small, joyless, devoid of the spark that once defined her. That whisper lingered, stirring something deep within. Sarah thought of her younger self, the woman who danced at weddings, laughed over shared meals, dreamed of seeing new places. Where'd that woman gone? Hesitantly, she called Emily back and said yes to the trip. Those 3 days were nothing short of magical. They hiked through pine-scented trails, watched sunsets, paint the sky in hues of gold and crimson, and shared meals that warmed both body and soul. Laughter flowed freely, stories spilled over glasses of wine, and Sarah felt alive in a way she hadn't in years. As she stood on a mountain overlook, the wind in her hair, she realized this was what she'd been saving for all along. Not a bank balance, but moments that filled her heart, memories that would outlast any possession, connections that gave her life meaning. The truth is, money is a tool for living, not a treasure to hoard. After 70, when time becomes more precious, clinging to savings at the expense of joy is like locking away your soul's light. Experiences, whether a weekend trip, a new hobby like pottery, or a simple dinner with friends, create memories that linger long after the cost is forgotten. Studies back this up. Spending on experiences, like travel or shared activities, boosts happiness and well-being far more than material goods ever could. Sarah learned this lesson and decided to rewrite her story. She created a fun fund, a small account dedicated to life's pleasures. She bought tickets to a local jazz concert, enrolled in a painting class, and even hosted a family barbecue, filling her home with laughter. Each expense, however small, expanded her world, lifted her spirit, and reminded her that life's meaning lies in living, not just surviving. Frugality has its place, responsibility is wise, but balance is key. You've earned the right to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Why save for a someday that may never come when today beckons with possibility? Sarah's getaway wasn't just a trip. It was a reclaiming of her zest for life, a reminder that joy is an investment in your soul's purpose. Let Santa Fe's festival inspire you to loosen your grip on savings and embrace the experiences that make your heart sing. Start small: a coffee date, a new book, a class you've always wanted to try. Picture the vibrant colors of the festival, urging you to spend on joy, to weave memories that will warm you for years to come. Your happiness, your connections, your life's sacred meaning, they bloom when you choose to live fully, not just save. Habit 9. Talking down to younger generations. Imagine strolling through a serene park in Kyoto, where time seems to pause under a canopy of cherry blossoms. The delicate pink petals fall softly, mingling with the chatter of young couples snapping selfies and elders practicing Tai Chi nearby. This is a place where tradition and modernity dance together, whispering a timeless lesson. Respect across generations builds bridges that enrich life's purpose. Yet, for many over 70, a subtle habit can disrupt this harmony: talking down to younger people, dismissing their ways as inferior. It's not malice, it's a longing to share hard-earned wisdom. But this habit can quietly widen gaps, alienating the very loved ones who bring vibrancy and meaning to your days, leaving you disconnected from the connections that make life sacred. Meet Sarah, a 71-year-old retired librarian from Baton Rouge, whose story reveals the weight of this habit. Sarah adored her grandson Noah, a bright 14-year-old whose visits were once the highlight of her week. She'd light up as he bounded through her door, eager to share stories of school or his latest adventures. But as Noah grew, his passions shifted to video games, a world Sarah didn't understand. One afternoon, as he animatedly described a virtual quest, Sarah sighed, her voice tinged with exasperation. In my day, we played outside, not glued to screens all day. The word slipped out, meant as a nudge toward her own childhood joys, but Noah's face fell. His excitement dimmed, and he grew quiet, mumbling a quick, "Yeah, I guess." The visit ended sooner than usual, and Sarah felt a pang as the door clicked shut behind him. Over time, Noah's visits became less frequent, their conversations strained. Where laughter once filled her living room, awkward silences took hold. Sarah sensed the growing distance, but couldn't pinpoint why. She'd only shared her perspective, her wisdom, hadn't she? It wasn't until her daughter, Emily, sat her down with a gentle but firm nudge. "Mom, Noah feels like you don't get him. When you talk like his world's wrong, it pushes him away." The words landed like a stone in Sarah's chest. She hadn't meant to judge. She'd wanted to guide. But her dismissals, cloaked as advice, were building walls, not bridges, shutting out the grandson whose love gave her life such purpose. The truth is, every generation faces its own unique challenges, shaped by a world that evolves faster than we can grasp. After 70, it's easy to cling to the good old days, to see today's youth with their apps, slang, and digital lives as straying from what worked for you. But dismissing their experiences as lesser doesn't share wisdom. It creates division, alienating those you long to connect with. Sarah's heart ached at the thought of losing Noah's spark, and she vowed to change. The next time he visited, she took a deep breath and tried a new approach. Instead of critiquing, she leaned in with curiosity. "Noah," she said, her voice warm, "what's cool about this game you're playing?" His eyes lit up, words tumbling out as he described epic battles and strategies. Sarah listened, asking questions, letting his passion fill the room. For the first time in months, they laughed together, bonding over his world. That small shift, choosing curiosity over judgment, transformed their relationship. Noah's visits grew lively again, his stories flowing freely. He even taught Sarah to play a simple game on his tablet, their shared giggles echoing through her home. Sarah learned that respect is the key to connection, a bridge that spans generations and breathes life into relationships. By meeting Noah where he was, she didn't just reclaim their bond, she rediscovered the joy of learning, of growing alongside someone she loved. Her life's meaning deepened, rooted in the love they nurtured together. You don't need to understand every trend or gadget to connect with younger generations. Just show you care. Ask questions, listen without judgment, and let their world spark your curiosity. Picture Kyoto's harmonious park, where old and new blend seamlessly, urging you to meet youth with an open heart. Start small. Next time a young person shares something new, say, "Tell me more," and watch the magic unfold. Your relationships, your growth, your life's sacred purpose, they thrive when you build bridges, not barriers, across the generations that shape your world. Habit 10. Holding on to grudges and regrets. Finally, let's rest in a Smoky Mountains meadow where the morning mist whispers of freedom. After 70, holding on to grudges and regrets is like carrying a stone. It weighs down your heart, steals your joy, and dims the purpose that makes life sacred. Sarah carried a decades-old grudge against a friend who betrayed her trust. Each memory stung, fueling bitterness that clouded her days. She avoided family events, fearing judgment, and her health suffered high blood pressure, sleepless nights. Her daughter's words, "Mom, let it go for you," sparked change. Sarah wrote a letter, pouring out her pain, then burned it, releasing the hurt. Forgiveness wasn't for her, friend, it was for her. The weight lifted, her heart opened, and she rejoined life's dance. Grudges harm you, not the offender. They raise stress, weaken immunity, and isolate you. Sarah learned to redirect thoughts to the present, a grandchild's smile, a warm meal. Forgiveness is courage, freeing you to live fully. Picture the Smoky Mountains, urging you to release old wounds. Your peace, your health, your life's meaning, they soar when you let go. As we close, imagine this Smoky Mountains meadow where moonlight bathes the world in peace. The habits we've explored: negativity, neglecting self-care, stubbornness, clutter, impatience, over-talking, refusing help, Frugality, dismissing youth, and grudge aren't just habits, they're choices that shape your life's meaning. They can isolate you or, with small shifts, connect you to love, purpose, and joy. You have the power to change. Speak light in New Orleans cafes. Care for yourself in Kyoto's blossoms. Embrace change on Big Sur's cliffs. Declutter in Tuscany's villages. Choose patience in markets. Listen by Adirondack lakes. Accept help on beaches. Spend joyfully in Santa Fe. Respect youth in parks. Forgive in meadows. These choices honor your life's sacred purpose. And as you reflect, turn inward. True wisdom lies in the soul. Explore meditation, prayer, or spiritual teachings to deepen your peace. In quiet moments or sacred words, nurturing your spirit elevates your life like nothing else. Thank you for joining me on Senior Health Star. Like, subscribe, and share with someone you love. In the comments, tell me, which habit hit home? Drop number 1 if it's negativity or clutter. Number 2 if it's grudges or stubbornness. Your story matters. Until next time, live wisely, love deeply.